Well. It took an extra day, but it was a Monday race in Michigan. I'm your host, Steve Letarte. Welcome back to another Dirty Mo-Do. We got the Trav, we got the Professor, and we got the social director, Tampa Tim, in his closet. Because what's going on downstairs, Tampa?
There's a bachelor party going on downstairs. We're leaving for Asheville in the morning. They're sleeping over at the house tonight, so I can't be anywhere on that floor. So we have to.
I
be
like
in the closet.
that. I just got back from Elk River, man. Let me tell you, bring a hoodie, bud. It's chilly, 60-something degrees, like 61. It was beautiful this morning.
I'm excited. I can't wait for that.
Are we in agreement that shorts and sweatshirt weather is hands down like the best?
Oh, 100%. I love a long sleeve tee with a pair of shorts. That's a solid.
Same thing.
Totally agree. Here's my thing. I hate the cold, but what I like is I don't want to have to wear that at 3 o'clock heat of the day. But I love needing a hoodie at like 6 a.m. coffee or 9 p.m. wine by the fire or outside the house. I like to have to put a little layer on. Now, Professor and I won't have that in Daytona because we are going to be as close to the surface of the sun as you can get, and it's going to rain for 5 days, so it's going to be just a beautiful weekend in Daytona.
Bonus time with Stevie. Nothing better.
Bonus time with Steve. I like it. So, Tampa, it's time for the report card, and I heard it was trending good until we got into the old live bet action.
Yeah, we were doing pretty well. Carson Hocevar, man, top 10 at plus 500 cash, with a little boost on a matchup against Chicken Austin Dillon cash. It was looking real good. That alone was the profit. We had our best week in about 5 weeks, and then I was a little too greedy and started betting Martin Truex because it was a Monday. Bet Chase Elliott because he passed William Byron on the pit stop. Got Kyle Busch because I liked him 12-1, and he looked like he was on a good strategy. All while the TV's muted, so I had no idea what you were saying, Stevie. Didn't even know if I was right, wrong, whatever. And that ruined the whole profit. So I think we're going to take a break from live betting for a little bit and just kind of trust our pre-race bets.
Well, if there's ever a week to stay away from live betting, it's this week because unless you can live bet coming on. Actually, even if you could bet it off turn 4, I'm not sure I would take the live bet. We're heading to the World Center of Racing, back to Daytona, 400-miler. Obviously, everyone knows Daytona 500 kicks off the season. We saw William Byron went to victory lane. And now we're heading back to the high banks for the 400-miler, which we think is going to be Saturday night, but with the weather, could be a Sunday afternoon race.
First time in a while it's not the cutoff, though.
It is. So it has been the cutoff. Good point, Draft. Good point. Let me just say, I love it being the cutoff race, but I love the fact that we're leaving Darlington on Labor Day weekend even better. I think certain traditions have to stand, and I think the Southern 500 has to stay on Labor Day weekend, and that made it the cut. It's fine. One short of the cutoff race is still good with me.
I'm curious to see how drivers, will they change a little bit in their mentality? I still think it's you go for broke.
Well, so what Speedway racing looks like and what I expect to see is you have to make a pit stop in every stage. So what everyone basically does is rides around trying to save gas while not giving up all their track position. So there's this little misnomer, right? Because everybody thinks you just save gas. That's all that matters. Well, so look, just like every story, there's two sides to it. You definitely probably don't want to be the leader. But you also don't want to be like 30th because even if you saved an extra gallon from 30th, and the whole reason you save gas is so on the green flag pit stop, you have the shortest time in your pits and you cycle to the front. The average running position of the stage winner is like 12th to 16th. If you run just outside the top 10, it seems like you're far enough back, Tampa, where you can run like more part throttle, you can save the most gas, and yet are still close enough that on the green flag pit stop you can kind of leapfrog to the front.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be the most chaotic Daytona race we've seen in a little while. And I don't know why, it's not the cutoff anymore this year. But I think the run of new winners we've had, I don't know, I just feel like this is going to be either a wreck fest, especially if there's rain in the area. I have no idea. But I just think it's going to be so chaotic.
Making a small change to the car after Corey LaJoie flew his down the backstretch at Michigan. They're going to add another little fin on the rear window. You probably won't even see it on TV, but trying to keep the cars on the ground. That'll be a point of conversation. Remember, it was this race a year ago where our man Ryan Preece went for probably, in the more recent years, the biggest wreck we've seen at Daytona. I mean, there's been other big ones. Austin Dillon's was huge back in 2015. But for the next gen car, I think Preece gets the award of the biggest wreck.
I mean, he made Corey LaJoie's wreck look like it was nothing.
Right.
The amount of air that he
basically, it was a hold my beer moment. Be like, no, boys, here, hold my beer. Let me show you how we're really going to flip one.
Did you see LaJoie's the in car of the camera facing him that was out on Twitter today?
I did. The one that it gets really quiet and he closes his visor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just the grass and everything. On Actions Detrimental, Denny was talking about how he'd rather have that than hit the wall, which I understand. But the way that he made it seem like, oh, you're just in a spin cycle, like him talking about it sounded like, oh, it's not that bad. And then you watch it and you're like, it's still pretty bad.
So there is a theory to that, right? So I understand what the drivers are saying about upside down. And so they're not incorrect with their concept of as you tumble, your hits are smaller. You're kind of dissipating energy. But the other concept is, this car is much safer sitting on the tires. When it gets upside down, if you get hit in the windshield, when cars get airborne, you can get into catch fences. You're going to have other cars hit you. So keeping them on the ground is the key. Now, normally we see two cars push each other over. What made the LaJoie wreck more, I guess, severe or concerning is that it was kind of like a one-car deal, right? He turned left and it went right in the air. And I think that's really the issue. And what happens is those snap spins, you don't – so here's how it works. Can I nerd out for a minute here?
Let's hear it.
I'm going to get a little nerdy. So here's how it works. There's this magical thing called lift-off speed. Most race cars going the wrong direction create lift, just like a wing of an airplane. The key is you want that lift-off speed number to be so high that you're never going backwards at that speed. So, for instance, if you run 200 miles an hour in a perfect condition, if your liftoff speed is 200, then you're probably pretty good because it's hard. By the time you spin around, you've slowed down 10 or 15 or 20 miles an hour. So everything you're trying to do is increase the speed required for the car to create the amount of lift to go in the air. There's your nerdy answer. So the roof flaps, the hood flaps, the new fin on the rear glass, it's all to increase the minimum speed required for the car to lift. A 747 takes off at 175 miles an hour, give or take. We need cars to not take off at 175. So when you look at Corey's wreck, not only is it high speed, but it's not like a slow, he didn't bang into four guys and then get backwards because that's 2 miles an hour, 2 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, and now you're backwards. He literally just turned left. So I don't know his exact speed. I haven't looked at the data, but it was high enough for that thing to go in the air, which is the whole problem. Enough about wrecking. Now let's wreck some bets, shall we? Tampa's fired up. We got all our normals, but there's some new bets we've just popped up on the books, and we're going to have a whole conversation. I don't even know why we're going to the predictor. This is like throwing lawn darts off the third floor of a condo, but let's go to it. Come on, Professor.
Hold on. I need a quick second with the predictor and the colors. I'm all for the colors, but
Is that why you wore the Sundrop shirt? Because that matches the colors almost exact.
But am I wrong in thinking that Tier 2 color should actually be Tier 1 color and Tier 1 should be Tier 2?
Oh, he for sure has the order wrong.
I agree.
What are you doing, Russ?
I was just focusing on trying to annoy Stevie with all the colors, and I screwed up on those two colors. But
yeah,
the whole point of this.
You know what he did? He took his eye off the ball, Tampa. Took the eye off the ball, and he messed it up.
Mm-hmm. Distractions.
Yep.
Let's hear Tier 1, Russ.
All right, Tier 1. Blaney, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Reddick, Buescher, and William Byron, 2024 Daytona 500 winner.
Christopher Bell is the one that pops off to me. He's 13 out in Vegas. Plus 2,200.
Well, a lot of it's how well he's run lately, right? Because that takes the predictor takes that into heavy consideration. He was third in the Daytona 500. He's actually third in the last two Daytona 500s, 16th in the other one. So when you average that out in the last three races, it's pretty good. What do you got for me, Stevie?
Don't look at me. I think trying to pick a winner of this race is an absolute fool's bet. I think you take some good value, you throw some stuff out there, and you hope.
If you go to Tier 2, Logano's the favorite on the books. He's in Tier 2. of the predictor.
You want to know why?
Because you didn't send him the data this week?
Yeah.
The books were late, so this is probably why.
Yeah.
He has 2 top 10s in the last 10 Daytona races. Like he has one top 10 in the last 7 drafting track races.
I agree with where Logano and Keselowski, who leads Tier 2, they run up front every Daytona race, but they never finish it. They're always in the wreck.
So this is going to hurt the predictor a little bit, but if you look at Keselowski, he's had 11 DNFs in the last 15 races at Daytona.
Wow.
What happened in the other 4?
He was 2nd, 9th, 10th, and 12th. He was runner-up in this race last year. That's one reason he's in Tier 2. And he's got 7 plate wins, or drafting track wins.
Man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with the whole concept.
Well, I think you can look at what if we ruled some people out? Like Vegas obviously has this right, but Larson, he's 19-1, right? He's never had a top 5 at Daytona. So it's like we can rule some of these guys out. Like that looks like you want to bet that, but I'd stay away from Larson this week.
Oh, my favorite bet on the board is a matchup including Larson.
Russ, I'm really proud of you. 12 minutes in, this is probably our best.
Oh, this is efficient. This is efficient for sure. My favorite bet on the board is a matchup involving Larson.
Let's just do it right now. Let's hear it.
Larson Bell. Bell's the dog. That is an absolute bad line. Bell at plus 120 over Larson is the must bet of the week.
Wait, you said say that again?
Larson versus Bell. Bell is the dog at plus 120.
That's
Qualifying.
I don't know why it should say qualifying.
Oh.
Well, that changes a little bit.
I swore I typed qualifying. That's my bad.
Ross, you know how you brought your A game to 12 minutes in? We got the C game on the spreadsheet.
Ooh.
Cheers, boys.
For listeners, that just means really pay attention in your books. Don't hit the wrong button. Don't go to the wrong place. I talk about it more, but it's getting all edited out. There's no way.
We're gonna leave this in.
I got one win bet that it's a crapshoot. But if you're talking about guys that run up front a lot at these and not really, they don't cause the wreck. Ryan Blaney, he's 13-1, one of the favorites, but he's in the wreck, but he doesn't cause it. I like those odds.
All right, I can get. So look, let's be honest here. Logano's going to be quick. I think he's super aggressive. I don't like. I know he's probably that's fine. I don't like him as the favorite. Hamlin, he's great at Daytona, but he seems to be really great in the 500. Not as good in the summer race.
What is that? Why would that?
Because the Daytona 500 is the biggest race in the entire year, and he dials her on in. And this is the summer race, and he's just waiting 2 weeks for the playoffs. This is just 1 week in the way for him starting the playoffs.
So what you're saying is, like, at the end, he's not going to do something dumb where at the beginning.
No, I just think that other people are like it just races different. Like Daytona 500 just races totally different. That extra 100 miles makes such a difference. No, look, I'm not saying Hamlin still won't be in the picture, but I'm not going to bet him at 12-1. I don't hate Blaney at 13-1 because he always shows up. There's no way you're taking Kyle Busch.
No, you don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, I don't hate him, but I just figured there's no way you. I mean, it'd be a great story.
I like Kyle because I think it is the story, and RCR's had some speed, and I think this. I said this race was going to be the most chaotic race. I think Kyle Busch is a guy that will cause that chaos, but I think he's going to go for it. I kind of like having a little something on him.
Chastain would be a great story as well, but his numbers at Daytona don't match his numbers at Talladega. Look at Professor's pissed when I look at the notes. He's so. Do you see that? Like it was a shake. It was like a head shake of agreement, yet disappointment at the same time.
Well, especially because you mailed it in this whole week, playing golf the whole week.
Mailed it in. What, you riding around with me? You don't know what I've done this week.
Yeah.
What, I got to call you to prove that I'm working?
Steve, I've got a question for you. Is there? I know like the Toyotas have less, but what do you make of the pack racing? Does that give a certain team advantage or?
Not in the current format of the way they do it with the fuel savings and all that. It's. I don't see an advantage with manufacturers anymore. Like the whole races they're really different than they used to be. If you want to throw some long shots, Stenhouse at 33-1 is always fun at the speedways. I like Gilliland, which you also have highlighted at 41 to. I think Todd's always fun to watch. He's up front. He's exciting. I mean, that's really it. I will tell you that if it's an absolute wreck fest and you were looking for long shot top 10s, I wouldn't take Hill. What's Hill in?
33, I think. Right,
The third RCR car, right?
Yeah.
Is it listed as RCR as the owner, or is it listed as something else?
Should be RCR.
Well, I mean, I think it's an RCR car. I just didn't know who's listed as the owner.
Yeah, it's an RCR car.
I think Hill at plus 390 for a top 10 is interesting. Smith at plus 360. That guy's been sneaky.
I like that just enough. I think he avoids. I mean, I don't know. I think the books, all the top 10s, half of the guys you define value on are plus 360, and that's good value still. But I don't even think they know what's gonna happen. How could they?
Agreed.
How about John Hunter Nemechek? Third best average finish all time at Daytona. Worst finish there is 11th.
For a top 10?
Yeah, top 10.
Yeah, I like that. You're not going to get a fight out of me.
What about Tim's? What's your thoughts on Bubba this weekend?
He falls in that category of he can go for it and do it. But, I mean, I say it every week, though, and he's ran well. I mean, the way he raced last week maybe changed my opinion because I thought he could have won. He could have got a lot of stage points and went for the winning strategy.
His fault, though. Like, he got caught up in somebody else's mess.
I agree, but he could have probably won or been second or third in both those stages and then chose to pit and then got caught up in the wreck. So he was going for the win, and that's not normally what we see out of them. So that kind of changed my opinion. Will he go for the win this time? Now, will it pay off? I don't know. 20-1, is that enough? I don't know. But he changed my opinion on him for sure after last week.
So I got a question for you, Professor. If you like John Hunter Nemechek, do you like him as the top Toyota at 22-1?
No.
Okay.
Because I think he'll slide in there like 8th, 9th, 10th.
And that won't be the top Toyota.
Correct.
What about Seabell, top 10 at minus 130?
I don't even want a minus number for a top 10 at Daytona. No.
That's fair.
Yeah, simple.
It can go so bad so quickly.
My return on investment, I want it and then some. I don't want to. You know what I mean, Trav?
Mm-hmm.
So I have the same opinion on matchups. There's no one I think is so good that I would pay minus money on a matchup. And for that reason, most matchups are minus across the board, right? They just don't have the upset.
Hey, but if you want Bell plus 120 for qualifying.
Correct. Now, if you want to get the qualifying.
How about let's go to a bet that I don't think we've ever seen in the history of this podcast.
Oh, I can't wait to get here.
Top 20.
Top 20. There's only going to be
Finally.
38 cars, 39 cars, right? 39?
40, I think.
I think there's 40.
40.
Oh, it's a full 40. I'm sorry. I thought there was 39. Either
Still.
way, front half of the field.
What's the number that you would advise someone, Steve, to be willing to pay? Because that's really what we're at, right?
Well, and they're all minus money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is I wouldn't bet Logano at a top 10 at minus 280 when I can get a top 20 at minus 300. And I wouldn't bet Blaney at a minus 240 when I can get top 20 at minus 300. Right? So just follow me. Like, to answer your question, it's not as simple as that. I would go through each guy, and I would say it's really the split between your top 10 and your top 20 and where that gap comes. This is kind of like buying the hook in football, right? How much you going to pay for that half point? So for like Blaney, I like minus 300 for a top 20. I hate minus 240 for a top 10.
I'm guessing on the flip side, Denny Hamlin in one book is minus 250 for top 10. Top 20 is minus 400. You'd probably go top 10 if you were, or actually not bet
if I was inclined, right? But I would probably go plus 150 top 5 before I did that. So for me, I think you get very interesting, and you get top 20 value. If you were thinking Ty Gibbs at minus 110 for top 10, I would just pay minus 200 and get 10 more spots. And I think that's like buying a 1.5 or 2 points, right? Stenhouse is here's the problem. Now you go from plus. You see what I'm saying, Tampa? That's kind of how I'm looking at these.
I like that philosophy a lot.
It's like, now look, I'm not saying you should bet top 10 or top 20 or whatever, but just be careful. See where your value is on this. I love the bet. I'm super happy they're being creative with these.
You can't parlay them. I have checked that just to confirm that.
Which is correct. You shouldn't be able to.
This is a very popular golf type of bet. I know there's more golfers in the field than there would be cars in a NASCAR race, but I hope these stick around for a non-drafting track, because these would be.
Oh, I know, but Logano at a non-drafting track would be minus 3,000. It'd be like the second round of the U.S. Open tennis match.
Yeah, but I would go for the more Stenhouses, McDowells, Gillens. Those are the guys that I would really want to bet on. But you're right, minus 3,000.
No, I hear you. It's a great bet. So, for instance, if I'm going to bet top 20, to answer your question, I am in the William Byron to probably Cindric range. When I get below Cindric, I just don't see it. And I say that because, okay, Byron, Larson, Reddick, Bubba, Bell, Bowman, McDowell, Chastain, Gibbs, I would buy the 10 more spots and pay double the juice. But I get lower. I get Stenhouse plus 125 to minus 185. That's not double the juice. That's a huge, So then when I get down here at Gregson, Briscoe, Jones, Jones is plus 145 minus 180.
Yeah, look at Zane Smith, the top 10 versus top 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Plus 360 minus 140. I mean, that's a hard.
I will say the top 10 numbers and the top 20 are different books. So
I will say this, though, too. I do think my favorite top 20 bet is probably
Ty Gibbs.
Yeah. If I was going to say a guy who I think is going to run there, but I actually think I like the not Retzlaff or McLeod or Gase, but I think Cody Ware at minus 110 because he's going to ride around the back. Like they're there to finish. I don't think he's going to be up in the mix.
Yeah, but Gibbs is just trying to get 20 points.
I don't think they're going to race that way.
No way can you have Cody Ware. I don't care if it's top 20 on
He usually finishes he just survives these things. If it's you're
Bring him
going
up.
off a Wreckfest.
Bring him up. Cody Ware. Come on, Professor.
This is the first we're debating BJ McLeod.
And don't even look at Cody Ware. Give me Rick Ware Racing's last 4 speedways.
Nope, not doing it.
Why? Because you can't look up Rick Ware Racing? You're just mad.
No, I'm just mad at you.
Yeah. Because what's it going to tell you? Go ahead, say it.
It would have paid. It would have paid his last 3 times at Daytona. Cody Ware.
Okay,
Man,
then
I might have to
wrong.
place it now.
I'm okay being wrong if it helps the people.
All next gen.
Oof.
But remember, I was mailing it in all week, guys. Mailing it in.
I just don't like when you don't call me for 2 days.
Hey.
I think there's
Hold on.
Checking my Cody Ware stats.
Russ, did you call Steve?
I had some.
No. This is a yes or no question. Did you call Steve?
No, I did not call him.
So last time I checked, Steve, I could be wrong with your phone, but my phone you can call and get calls, so it works both ways.
We just need a little break. We need a little TV timeout between the two of us.
You guys going through a rough patch?
Yeah, what's
No,
going
you didn't
on?
come to Michigan, and then when it rained out on Monday, I don't think he appreciated us having to spend an extra day.
No, somebody else.
I didn't get enough
appreciate
empathy
it.
out of Russ, so I didn't want to talk to him for a couple days. Well, look, we circle back to the Cody Ware. We buried that. That's the bet.
I already placed it.
Gase is no. No, seriously, we don't talk about these guys. Let's really talk about it. Cody Ware's a bet. Gase is no. McLeod's no. Retzloff is in which car?
62.
Professor? No, that's a
62.
no. Hill at minus 130.
What about John Hunter for top
like-
20?
Well, I'm getting up there. I like Hill at a minus 130, maybe. I don't love that, actually. Zane Smith, Justin Haley's too much juice, Hemrick, Burton, Nemechek. So I like Nemechek at minus 130. Yes, I like Nemechek and Cody Ware. If you're going to look at the least amount of juice for top 20, those are some good Tampa sweat bets. And now here's the best thing, Tampa. They stuff about 15 or 18 of them in, and those two aren't in it. It's basically like, whoop.
Yeah, that's what we were banking on. And I mean, Cody.
Yeah, look, if there's 38 cars that finish, Cody Ware's not driving up to 19.
No.
That's not what we're betting on here.
No, not at all. You're exactly right. And he's going to ride around the back. He's going to lose the draft, and that's going to be his story.
The best thing that could happen to you is Cody Ware goes a lap down in the first stage.
I'm rooting for that.
Because then he'll just stay out of the pack. Like
It just can't break. It just can't break, and we'll be fine.
that's why I'm avoiding the Retzloff, the McLeods, and the Gases, because I'm worried about finishing. But the Rick Ware equipment runs, man. The drum beats all day.
Oh, yeah.
They have 6 top 10s at Daytona.
Who?
9 in their career.
Who?
Rick Ware.
Well, Haley's only plus 330, but Cody Ware, that'd be a hell of a flyer, plus 1,400. I can't get behind that, but
No, yeah.
all right. I think we exhausted that one. Let's talk qualifying. Is there any obvious qualifying trends, Russ? Oh, I have a question. A rain-out qualifying order is a voided bet, correct?
Voided bet, yep.
Okay.
My Bell bet would have cashed, though. Just want it for the record.
I do appreciate there was somebody that tweeted at Tim's with weather imminent. I think they bet Hamlin just in case they somehow didn't void it. And I appreciate them trying to game the system. It didn't work, but you got your money back, so it was worth a try.
I love it. I think team matchups are a fascinating conversation. Speaking of which, how did we do with our 2-on-4 last week? What's wrong, Professor? Why are you throwing yourself?
You just asked me a question, and then you just go and you keep talking, and then you just.
I'm coming back
walk
to you.
right into the
I didn't know
team
you could
matchups.
get the information that quick. You have qualifying
Our
trends
time
already?
apart
You
is
see
not
why I didn't call them?
They're going through a
Our
little
time
tiff,
apart is
Trav.
not help.
Yeah.
They're
Do you guys
going
need a
through little
minute?
tiff. We got to do
Should
some
Tim's and
marriage
I walk
counseling?
away? Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your team matchups? Go on.
Go ahead. Give us the qualifying trends. You're going to tell me there's very little.
So McDowell won the last 2 drafting track polls. Ford's won the last 6 of them. Now Logano lost his glove from Daytona, so you got to be careful there. That's what I got for you. But that's pretty good.
I now need you to give Steve one compliment.
Yeah.
And then Steve, I need you to do it the same. We're gonna work through this today.
Trav, you're tiptoeing into a long-standing relationship that's built on rocky direction.
It's built on insults and food.
It'll be fixed in Phoenix.
Yes.
No,
You damn right.
That is going to be an all-time high.
Telling you.
So
mouth
I've never been
waters
punched
just-
in the face before. It's been a big comment, but it might happen in Phoenix.
So with your stats on qualifying, I don't see any Fords versus something else. So I don't really, nothing jumps off the page at me.
Let's go to the other new bet that we have this week. Numbers of laps led. This is an interesting one. I think this has got Russ's attention immediately.
So there's so many points to this. Green flag pit stop cycles, you could lead a lap. You could pit. You could pit after the start finish line.
Yeah, and they're not high lap totals, and it's all plus money. I'd take the over on every one of them.
So, how many laps can you find out? Kyle Larson is over 5.5 plus 300.
He's never led over 5 laps at Daytona in his career in one race.
Wrong.
Oh.
He led 7 laps in the 500 this year.
Okay, is that the only time he's led more than 5?
Well, he's only done it 3 times at Daytona, but yeah. It's 3 times.
Wait,
in
wait.
23
You said wrong like he had led 60 laps. He led 7 in the spring. Go ahead. No. Just don't stop there. How many times has he led more than 5 laps?
I said 3 times, but it was 23 starts.
See how many times that wouldn't pay?
I'm talking myself back on the under on this one.
Okay.
I would take the over in all of them.
Okay. So let's just scratch Kyle Larson off the list. Alex Bowman, 6.5 laps. He's done it more than Kyle Larson has at 5.5. Alex Bowman has absolutely cashed more than Kyle Larson. No?
3 times.
Damn. Scratch that one off. I'm going to tell you, Tampa Timms is not going to like this one, but Austin Dillon,
No,
I'm
that's an
feeling better
over.
about Austin.
Listen, 3.5. He's gonna wreck 4.5 of them, but he's gonna get there. He's gonna lead those 4 laps. I like that one.
Look. The reason I don't like Larson and Bowman is 5 laps is not a pit cycle. You have to lead the race, Continually lead the race. Austin Dillon how many times has Austin Dillon in the last 6 Daytona races, how many times has he led more than 3.5 laps?
Last 6 once.
So a low
Last
number. That's
7
what I'm saying.
twice.
Like,
I still like Austin. I don't think I like him over 3.5.
I like him because I think he's going to be up there. Like, everyone's going to be like, dude, this guy's out of control.
Hold on a second, though, Timms. Can I, for a second, didn't you go through a little phase early in the year and you're betting on Dillon and it didn't work?
Yeah, that's why I hate him. But like,
I think he's trapping you here.
I don't care. I mean, listen, this is his only other shot to go make these playoffs.
I also think Timms wants to bet this so that if it doesn't cash, he can come on here next week and go, that
Totally.
chicken.
I mean,
love it.
yeah.
It's like betting against your rival and like, you know what? I'm going to take them. If they lose, I'm happy. If they win, I got money.
You know what I love? Plus 375. If that cashes, that covers about 4 of these that I'm definitely going to place.
Ryan Preece, has he ever led a lap?
Yes.
In his life.
How many times?
He's twice.
He's led a lap twice.
How
He has
many
to lead 1 lap.
How many
At
starts?
Daytona.
Let me tell you,
9.
they had Harrison Burton last week for this, and he only had to lead 1 lap. And during the pit cycle, I think he led like 2 or 3. I mean, if it's 0.5, I think I'm taking the over and just sweating it. Because he could be side by side with somebody, beat him at the line. There you go.
So of these bets, without going, I like Austin Dillon over. I like Ryan Preece over 0.5. I like McDowell over 4.5. I like.
Avoid Burton.
I don't like the Burton over. I don't like the Suarez over. The Jones stats are skewed from his Gibbs time. And I'm not getting Corey LaJoie. I'd rather have Preece at plus 185 than LaJoie at plus 140.
Corey LaJoie is the one driver that they're going to stay out. Something's going to happen, and they're going to leave for 1 lap so they can celebrate their lap led, and you lose your bet, I feel like.
What's Jones's numbers? You're not wrong on LaJoie, but it's only plus 140. It doesn't entice me that much.
No, I'm saying that's why, like, and the minus 170 for no is not, it's too much.
Oh, no. I actually don't mind that bet.
So you would say taking the no is under is okay?
Man, he hits some stuff, man. If he hits it early, he's done.
I'm taking them all.
I probably got to avoid it. If it was 1.5, I would be on the under. But at 0.5, I'm a little scared. What's Jones's number down there, Sunshine? Are you back talking to me? Or are you still mad?
No, I'm talking to you. 30% of the time it would cash.
Well, 30%.
Hey, it's a Hall of Fame baseball career. It's good enough for me.
So for the record, how many of these are no longer overs that were overs?
All of them are under. All of them are under now. we've talked myself right out of it.
See, when you sent the Texans over, I said save it for the pod because I'm like, there's no way that.
Hey, just for the record, I'm that guy in Vegas that says, hey, buddy, I know you think it's going to have to hit red. It doesn't. Step away from the table. Just step away. Let's go buy a beer at the bar.
Steve is the one that bring the hand. Come on, let's go.
That's right. Come on. Hey,
we got
let's
reservations.
get this espresso martini and let's think about what we're getting ready to do here. Hey, it's Friday night, Timms. We don't fly out till Sunday. Let's not push it all in tonight. We still got tomorrow.
So you're saying the 6 I have in my bet slip right now, I shouldn't place all 6. Dylan, Priest, McDowell.
Can I just tell you the other fear I have here?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I just had a brainstorm. Hold on. I want to come back to my brainstorm. My fear is that they could get single file and kind of save some gas. Like there could be not a lot of lead changes.
Okay.
Okay, so now, but here was my brainstorm. The fuel savings does allow LaJoy, Jones, Priest, McDowell, Dillon to go up there and lead. Like I remember in one of these races, the 7 was up there leading laps because everybody else was riding around at half throttle. Look at just the last 4 Daytona races, Professor. Just the last 4. Okay?
Okay.
Has Corey LaJoy led a lap in the last 4?
Yes, twice.
Because they're saving gas. He goes up there and he pedals it.
And that's what my point was. At minus 170, it's not worth it. If it was,
You've talked me into the LaJoy over. So of your 6 bets, Tampa, I like LaJoy and Priest because it's a half lap at plus money. I mean, I think you got to take that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Dillon, just for the sake of the pod, is worth a bet because you're either going to win or lose your mind. Both is great content. Matter of fact, we should send a nice email to Kelly thanking her for the Wi-Fi and thinking this is a business expense because this is going to be great content either way.
If he wins, it covers if Priest and LaJoy don't too. So
the only thing that would be funnier is if Austin Dillon leads the green-white checker and leads 2 laps. God,
I mean,
it would be the best.
If that happens, I swear to God, I swear I'm done with this guy. But
Tim's, will you still be on your bachelor trip when this happens Saturday night?
Saturday night, yes, I will be.
Oh,
I will be some beers deep, so you better believe the camera will be on me.
I
think these 3 are my favorites. I don't hate McDowell, but he doesn't lead a lot. He's up front a lot, but he doesn't lead a lot.
The only way that he could lead, I think, is he wins the pole.
Great call, Trav.
Yeah, I think McDowell. I'll still throw it on there.
All right, highlight that one green too. We're filling the bet slip.
Tyler Reddick 8.5. I think that's high.
I don't have that one.
Wait, where are you seeing Reddick? Did they add more?
I think he's down at the bottom. Yeah,
Oh, they've added.
I'm on the app.
Who else? Reddick 8.5.
That's
I
it.
see why I missed
That's it.
it.
That's the only one I think he's missed.
It's
Oh wait a second. We got a second spreadsheet situation.
No.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone. I
Hold
don't
on,
trust
no.
the spreadsheet.
I've been.
I think you guys should have really worked a little harder this week. Didn't mail it in like Russ said I did.
First of all, the books set me up for failure this week. And then the websites weren't even updated. I had to go to the app to find it. And then it goes numbers of laps led, Corey LaJoy, racing winning car number, odd even. And then below that's the Reddick one. This is not on me.
That's dumb.
What other bets we got, Tim's?
There was one both top 10 that I thought was interesting. Suarez Gilliland at plus 500. Listen, I mean, I wouldn't advise anybody to be parlaying top 10s here, but, you know.
Yeah, but give 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1, and they can do it. Why not? Those are fast cars. There's a couple also, like, just based off statistical reasons, like Byron Elliott. Like, recently, they've been finishing in the top 10. But, like, you know, Blaney Keselowski, same thing. But, like, I don't think Blaney, both of them probably won't finish the race, let alone, you know, finish in the top 10. So,
well, that's why. So I was going back to team matchups and looking at numbers. So Trackhouse front row.
Well,
hold
on a sec. I got a question for Tim's. The Suarez Gilliland, is that basically? I'm going to hope for some wrecks, and it's just like a long, just shot. Like I need luck to happen.
I mean, Yes and no. I mean, Gilliland's up there. He leads these races. Suarez won Atlanta. I mean, I know Suarez's Daytona numbers aren't great. I don't think he has a top 5, but like, I just need him to finish top 10. I don't care. But 5-1, that's really. I mean, if this was anything lower than,
If it was 3, you wouldn't.
probably not. 5-1 though.
I had a crazy idea, but Timms doesn't like to stack bets. But
Throw it at me. We can get crazy here at Daytona. We can try some things.
well, so let's talk Toyotas.
Talk to me.
There's 8 of them.
I didn't mind your John Hunter Nemechek bet, by the way. He's way down there, and
I know where Steve's going, and keep talking, Steve.
I'm just saying there's 8 of them here. So, like, if you just faded Hamlin and Bubba, I'd even fade Reddick too. And I'm definitely fading Truex. I would there's a chance I would put a little bit on Bell, Gibbs, Jones, and Nemechek. Clink, 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 clink.
all right.
4 at the bottom. Now, a little. I would take whatever your unit is, divide it up, and I'd put a quarter unit Bell, quarter unit Gibbs, quarter unit Jones, quarter unit Nemechek.
I don't hate that.
It's just purely a numbers game here. Like Hamlin and Truex are probably going to be running together. Bubba and Reddick will probably be running together. So if they get in a wreck, you'll probably get both of them.
Well, you don't necessarily need. You could take Reddick or Truex in that and still make money.
You could.
I don't like Truex here. I don't think he's going to be in the mix.
So do you take?
I like Bell, Gibbs, Jones, and Nemechek. That's where I would be.
Full transparency, I don't mind stacking that Toyota bet. I don't mind stacking laps led bets, taking a shot on both top 10, because I don't think I'm going to have a regular top 10 bet or a win bet, to be honest, pre-race at all.
How about Xfinity? Got any Xfinity odds, or is it not posted yet either? For you guys that are listening, to wonder why we're crazy, I have to go to Daytona early this week, so this is a Wednesday night pod. Not everything's out.
So we have win bets for Xfinity. Anybody want to guess the top 5? We can go ahead and we all know who the favorite is.
Austin Hill.
Austin Hill.
Okay, plus 275,
Jesse Love.
plus 700, number 2.
Allmendinger.
He's 1200. He's 4th.
Allgaier.
He's 3rd, 1100.
This is a fun
Chandler
game.
Smith.
He's
Nope.
1400, but he's not 5th. He's 7th.
Oof.
He's tied. He's technically 6th.
Who's in all the Gibbs cars this week?
It's Sheldon Creed is the
Really?
5th.
I'm going to tell you, if this was like a craps table and you could pick an exact and you would just bet Sheldon Creed would finish 2nd, you would be so rich.
That man, like, obviously I'm going to root for junior motorsports drivers, but I kind of wanted to see him win so we can, like, be done with that stat. And
He'll win now because now he has the record.
I mean,
That's what's going to happen. Mark my words, Sheldon Creed's the bet. Because now that he has a record at 11, the seas will part, and he'll drive through there and win.
But still, my man's finished second like 11 times. There's people that would love to finish second once. Like, second's not bad.
it ain't first.
Austin Dillon won a championship in Xfinity without winning a race. Timms, how about that?
Did you know that, Tampa?
Oh, my God.
This is the
You didn't know
origin
that, did
story.
you?
I didn't know that, but I mean, add it to the list.
It's unbelievable.
This guy can't
Has
do
that
anything
ever
right, can
happened?
he? This guy can't do anything right. Can't win a race, but wins a championship. I guess that's what he did right. He did right. He didn't have to win a race.
He can't win an appeal either.
Yeah. I mean, he had no shot.
Yeah.
How about the spotter got a couple weeks back?
You got one, right?
Well, they
He's
heard
back.
Well,
Mark
he went
Griffin
from
was-
3 to 1, yeah.
No, it went from. Yeah.
Yeah, 3-1.
3 to 1, time served.
You got time served. That was the best.
Which
That was the best part of that. Time served.
which is interesting that they did that.
I like it. Say he was in Michigan, now you wouldn't have him at Daytona.
It sent the message, right?
Yeah, I have a split opinion on that, but so didn't the board. Something had to be done. We'll see.
Wait, hold on a second. You were for it. You supported the ruling, right?
Yeah, no, I'm good with.
So what's your split? I'm confused. What's your split?
Well, so I listened to my counterparts, and DJ didn't like it because he feels like that should be an internal conversation within the team, right? Like his actions should be managed like every other, just like a tire change or anybody else, right, Russ? Like basically DJ, oh yeah, Russ wasn't there, never mind. Let me ask the other stat guys that were in the meetings. But basically DJ didn't love it. He didn't think that the spotter deserved to be suspended. He thought that they could have done it old school and just had a meeting and told them all. So back in the day, a young hypothetical crew member who may or may not be on this Zoom,
Timms?
showed his ass one time. So what they made me do is they took my hard card and they made me sign in every week. And what that means is on Friday morning, instead of walking in the garage area, you had to go to the registration trailer, wait in line, get your paper pass. And I know it sounds like silly, but I'm going to tell you, after like 10 weeks of signing in, you're like, this is an absolute pain in my ass.
That's NASCAR's version of you have to go run a mile or like.
That's correct. Run laps.
But so I think
I'm not going to tell you the official, but it wasn't even an official issue, but an official, a very high up official, took my hard card and put it in his briefcase and said, when you get done signing in for a while, I'll give it back. And then weeks later, I said, hey, man, months. I was like, can I get my hard card back? And he was like, man, I still have that? Oh, yeah, sorry. I only meant to keep it for a few weeks. Hell, I was so scared I signed in for like 10 weeks.
Oh, my God.
I think if social media not been such the role that it plays and everyone can listen in and it being posted, he wouldn't have. But I think NASCAR needed to send a message to the spotters, you can't be yelling wreck 'em.
I don't disagree. Mistakes.
So, Steve, we are days away from week 0 beginning. Are we just going to have an automatic fire on Saturday for a game just because, out of principle and respect to the game?
Absolutely.
Timms and I have been debating this Florida State Georgia Tech line, and it's been moving, right, Timms?
Yeah. I think me and Travis are on the same page about the line movement. If it goes down one more point, who we're taking. It's at 10.5 right now.
I'll tell you, I've already placed my bet.
What do you have, Steve?
I'm taking the over.
That's a good bet.
Offenses come out firing. Defenses take a few weeks. I'm taking the over.
I don't like DJU personally. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but he did play well. He did score at Oregon State, so I don't think it's a bad bet.
There's rain in the forecast.
I don't want to talk about it.
Peanut butter sandwiches for rain delay or pizza? Where are we going?
Nope, we're going to Famous Phillies, but there's only one place we're going in Daytona. It's going to be cheesesteak from Famous Phillies. We're not even going to pretend this is a debate. You see him smile? There's certain things that I know make my man so happy. We're going to look over there. There's going to be 2 stat guys, and we're doing rain fill. I'm like, Russ, we can do this with one. I'll put the order in. What's everybody want? And there'll be Famous Phillies in the booth.
So this needs to be told. So Famous Phillies is how Stevie and I got together. So way back, I think it's 2013, Stevie was announced as the crew chief for NBC, right? I have the dates right? 2013?
It was announced February of 14. Yep.
Okay. So it would have been 14. So we go to Famous Phillies. That's an annual trip. And I never like this loud crew chief. I couldn't stand hearing about him. Like I was just not into this. And I was like, I think I'm going to not do NBC because of this guy. Like he's just a clown. And then we're at Famous Phillies, and I look over, and he's sitting there, and I'm like, well, this guy got to be okay if he wants to come to Famous Phillies. Like that's where we met. That was our first place. So it's brought us together.
Tim's, I'm hearing is Famous Phillies going to bring him back, and they're gonna be good.
They know it. Told you, food. Food brings them back.
We already know.
All right, so Tim's, what's the Tampa Timms bet of the week?
Let me get back to all those lap led overs. Let me figure out who I actually placed here. McDowell, Eric Jones, Priest, LaJoy, and Austin Dillon. We're doing them all.
There you have it. All right, guys, what else do you want? We got a little football starting up. We got the FedEx Cup down to 50 golfers. And we got 2 races left in the regular season of NASCAR. High Banks, Daytona. We got Xfinity on Friday night, Cup on Saturday night. Get all your bets in to make all your bets pay off.